This video is powered by LearnToPlay.live, the only hardware synth performance course. Register now and enjoy 40% off. So that's how I make Italo Disco like in the 80s. That's going to be today's video. Are you ready for it? Let's go do it right now. Hey, what's up? I'm Italo Kitchen and thank you for checking out yet another video. Now, if this is your first time here, don't hesitate to click subscribe and hit that notification bell. Stick around till the end of this video. Spots are filling. There's still some places for LearnToPlay.live. We've actually sent out the mails to everybody, but if you want to join up, this would be the time because we are going to start right after ADE. We're going to start with some masterclass towards the end of this month. I told you we're going to start in September and that's actually happening. So do join up. Spots are filling. We welcome you with open arms, so it's going to be cool. Hey, Italo Disco, what is it all about? Well, actually, there are three things. There's synthwave, there's synth pop, and then there's Italo Disco. There's a difference, and I'll tell you what it is. Italo Disco. Think the end of the 70s, beginning of the 80s, and then think of how disco blended itself with synthesizers. And when you talk synthesizers, you're talking about sweet melodies, arpeggios. It was really a thing. Now, the genre got its name from Germany, would you not believe? And there were two artists very big, Baltimora and Giorgio Moroder. They really made that vibey sound and it's very characteristic. Synthpop is a genre that is a cross of the back end of new wave and post-punk. So it comes from the UK and Japan. Slightly different than Italo Disco, but has its roots also firmly embedded in the synthesizer realm. Bands that were big are Human League, Pet Shop Boys, and of course, Depeche Mode. Then you know exactly what kind of sound it is. So, synthesizers towards the end of the 70s, beginning of the 80s were huge, and the sounds were also very huge. A lot of people loved it and loved them still. So, that is synth pop. Fast forward to the year 2000, all of a sudden, the sound is back. Synth pop blended with Italo Disco, now you get synth wave. Think of an artist called Kavinsky who makes a track for a movie called Drive. All of a sudden, it blows up. It's got similarities, although the synth wave sound is mostly instrumental, and it's got different sort of vibes. Sometimes down tempo. It has that French ducking, you know, that compressed sort of like sidechain effect on it, and it sounds modern and old school at the same time. Now, I really love it. I really love that genre as well. It's really cool. And they really borrow the synth pop and Italo Disco aesthetic. So it's funny how these things all seem to come together again. Now let's look at how we can make an Italo Disco-esque kind of track. Don't slag me, because I am trying something that is also going to be new and old at the same time. So let's go to the live set and I'll show you on how we do that kind of stuff. There's also a little bit of a surprise in there because I'll show you something that I did on the Mini XD that you're probably gonna like. Check it out. Okay, for Italo Disco in the 80s, we need a few retro sounding synths that are either retro or can do a retro thing. So I've got a bit of new stuff and a bit of old stuff, and obviously, yeah, within the current setup, I'm going to try and get as close as I can. Okay, first we're gonna start with drums. Drums are from the 606. I've got a Strymon Black Sky sitting right here. The multi-clock is taking care of the DIN-Sync trigger for the TR606, and it's going to send out Midi to the 008, and 008 takes care of Midi to go to the Mini XD, to go to the OB6, to go to the Minitar, and the J6 sitting right here. And this is my master Midi controller. I'm going to use this as well, but you know what? That's my the way I've set it up. So let's start with drums. When I start with drums, I will start from scratch. Now, I told you I've got the multi-clock connected to the 606 or vice versa. 606 is connected to the multi-clock, so that means that if I'm playing these two, channel 1 and channel 2, channel 1 I can engage the DIN-Sync, which is what I do. So the clock is already running, but it's not engaging the channels that are here. So I've got this one running right now, so you'll see it will run. I've got the 606 on 16 steps, and I'm going to add in the accent first, because the accent is going to make sure that if I'm playing a kick, the kick will play loud. It will be louder. So here's a I'm on 109 BPM at the moment. I'm not sure if I'm going to stay there, but that's how we're going to do it. Let's first play a close head as well. Let's do that. Do you hear how the accent is constantly giving that pulse on the 1, 2, 3, and 4? Or if you want to be nitpicky, on the 1, 5, 9, and 13 within the 16 steps. Okay, I'm going to place a snare on the 2 and the 4 on the and now it plays. Let's start simple with an open hat, and the open hat we're going to play on the offbeat, so we're going to play that on the Now, to make it interesting, I will play some toms as well, because I think toms are going to make it a little bit more swingy. So I'll start with a high tom on the afterbeat and a low tom on the front beat section, so that we have a call and response pattern. So I'll start here with so that's on the last part of the bar. Nice. Now we got a little bit of a groove going, right? Okay, cool. So I think that those are my beats. I will play a cymbal also, and the cymbal is going to be every one. Nice. Yeah, I'm liking that. So that's as far as my drums are going. Pretty simple. So I've got my kick, bam, 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 snare on the 2 and the 4. Of course, hats on 16th, close hat, open hat on the afterbeat. Cool, da-da-da. So I'm playing with the open hat now. Da-ba-da-ba-da. So this and this is now joining the back end and the front end of my loop together, which is going to be cool. Cool. Let's lower the cymbal a little bit. Now I'm going to not mix it, but look at how to address the levels, right? Hats, toms. Now the thing with the toms is, I'm not even sure what the chords are going to be, but they're already playing some sort of a note value information. So the louder I will play my toms, the more they're going to dominate which chord I'm going to have to play in. That's not what I want to do. So I'm going to just like lay them there, that the transients are just helping the kick. So it's just leaning into it, right? Hats can be a little bit softer. Nice. And now I'm going to engage a little bit of reverb on the whole drum loop, because it's 80s style, right? So I've got my Strymon Black Sky sitting right here on auxiliary set 1. So if I open this up, you hear nice. Cool. Drums done. Sound great. Everything is okay. Let's see how these levels pan out once we start to add more stuff to it, right? I've got my mini guitar sitting here, on which I will look for a certain vibey sort of bass. Let's see what we have, right? So what I'm going to do is play something. Let's stop the drums and in my opinion, it's a very modern sounding bass. We need it to be a little bit more sounding like something of the 80s. Obviously, you'll need reverb. We'll get to that in a second. What we do need, though, is to take out a little bit of the low end on the bass. So we're going to play a little bit with the resonance, which is the knob sitting right here next to the cutoff frequency. If we open up the resonance, you'll notice that low end is going to be taken out. There's a bit of an envelope on there, which is the envelope generation amount. If it's on 12 o'clock, it doesn't really do much, doesn't do anything. But what we want is a shorter sound with a little bit of envelope and, of course, not as bright as it is right now. So we're going to shorten the note. That's something we're going to do with decay and release. Give it a little bit of envelope generation and play around with the cutoff frequency. And of course, with the two oscillators sitting on the mini guitar, the second oscillator needs to go all the way down. There's 3 octaves on that one, which sounds like this. And then we're going to just like, play it like this. Not sure whether we need a saw or a square. We'll find it out in a second. This is our first oscillator. Take out a little bit of that LFO. There's low frequency oscillation going on and we don't need it. So, open up the second oscillator. Now we're going to introduce some reverb. Let's see how that pans out. Nice, okay. Nice bass, right? Now the trick with 80s bass sounds is that they were short and that the reverb laid down a little bit more of the decay. If I'm playing it like this, very modern, there's a long tail on the bass and we don't need a long tail on the bass. As you can hear, a shorter tail on the bass will work. And then find a middle ground between how much bass do we hear, how much reverb do we hear. Now, since the reverb is a set it and forget it kind of setting right now, as we are using it as a send on the mixer, which means that a lot of more information, a lot of more instruments can benefit from the same reverb, we will actually leave the reverb where it is and find a middle ground for the bass, as I said. You know what I mean? So you can hear all these old school bass sounds come together. Let's see if we can record something in. I've got a 32 step sequence sitting on the RK008. That might be a little bit too long for the bass line, but since we are making Italo Disco, let's see if we can figure something out. I have no clue what it is that I'm going to do. Let's see how that pans out, all right? Let's see how we can do that. And we're going to do it something like this. Play the beats. Play the bass. Now, both of them are running. We're on 16, bam. That's the second part. So, let's try it out. So for my arpeggio, I am going to turn to my Roland J6, my trusty Roland J6. This thing has proven itself as the arpeggio master of arpeggio masters. I'm mostly using sound 3/4 or 3/5. Nice. 3/5 is a bit more brassy. 3/4 is more, you know, a little bit more of that Juno sound. So we're going to shorten the notes here. This is a, you know, set it and forget it kind of synth. There's delay and reverb on here. Do you know where I'm going? Let's try something out. Okay. Now it's getting a little bit too crowded, so I'm going to take out the delay and a bit of the reverb that's over here, because I've got reverb sitting already on the Black Sky, obviously. So I'm gonna go in. I'm going to say, all right. Nice. Same thing. I've played it already. I think it's okay. Let's quantize it, because I don't think it's quantized. Let's quantize. That's cool. Same for the length. You go. $16. Enter it. Get out of there. Yeah, I'm liking it. Okay. I'm liking it. Then again, I think I'm a little bit too slow, so I'm gonna speed up the BPM. 117. This can be shorter, the arpeggio. Nice, I'm liking it. But I'm thinking maybe I'm a bit on the low side. Should I not play higher? Maybe I can double it up. I can just go in and say, you know what, let's transpose it, which is cool. So I'm going to transpose it, say that. Nice. Yeah, I'm liking it. Cool. What I'm now going to do is play some pads. Very important. 80s pads. Now, for that, we're going to have to go to the OB6. Ready? Let's go. Cool. Pads on the OB6. Now, this machine screams 80s. It screams 80s. I love it to death. It's one of those machines that, you know, I had to get into it, but it's really, really a cool machine. When you hear how lush it sounds, nice. Chorus and a little bit of a plate reverb, which is already on there because it's got some really cool effects on board. It's not the cheapest synth in the world. Then again, sometimes you want to get a big mama synth in the house. This is it. You know what I mean? Mind you though, you don't have to buy these expensive synthesizers. You can do this stuff with, you know, with more conveniently priced synths. For instance, the J6 holds its own on a live stage and it sounds really, really cool. I was guessing on the OB6, that's why the OB6 is here. It's really, really cool synth. Now, I'm thinking that these are my chords. I want to play something like this, and I'll add the 7th note here. Then I'll go here, and then I'll open it up as a lead tone, this one. And then I'm going to go here, then I'll go for major, and then I will go here. Yeah? Wow, 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 wow. Okay, that's obviously going to go wrong, but we're going to try it out. Here's a track, erase, put it in record. Yeah. I hear a false note, so which is easy to take it out of record, I think. I think it's this note. So I'm going to say erase the track and then hit that note. So now I've only erased the note. So you have to press the note so that the RK008 knows what note to delete, and then it's. See? That's gone. Nice. Nice one. Now what I've also done is I've got mutes sitting right here. So if I want to take out my strings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, track 5, and then I'll just mute that. I save this sound because every time I'm going to stop the sound, stop the beat and start it, it's going to reset this sound to be muffled, the bass line. Okay, there's one more sound that I want to play, and that's an addition to the arpeggio. And that's something that I'm going to play off the Minilog XD. Let's see what we can cook up with that. The next thing I want to do is I want to look at maybe getting a sound. Now I've got this nice Radiohead sound that I've made. Remember that? The sound that I've made, it's a preset that I have because I made a lot of presets on there. A lot of cool presets actually. This is my Radiohead one. You hear? Woo-hoo-hoo! This is a Koto lead. Koto. Remember Koto? Now this is the Visitor bass line. Then of course the final countdown. This synth is just crazy. And all these presets I've made, all of them. So, Adana Twins. Ooh, nice. Expander, Sasha, remember that record? Okay, Carrie, Tube by Army. So I'm telling you, if you ever wanted a synthesizer that does crazy stuff and you want to learn how to do sound design, this would be the one. Remember this record? I'm telling you, these are crazy sounds that I've created in the Mini Lobe XD. I even went very cheesy. Okay, I'll stop. Okay, Radiohead. Cool. So how is this gonna pan out in my Italo Disco track, right? Okay. Nice. So what I'm gonna do is maybe, because there's something that's bugging me, I'm gonna take it out in a second. If I can play something like something like that, right? So when the beat goes, so I'll start with the first and play something like. This is going to go wrong, I can tell you that. You know what? I told you I was going to screw it up. Then again, let's try it again. Practice makes perfect. Take it out, take it in. Cool. Again, I will fix the last one because now I think I'm close enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of there. Take it out. This is track 7, so I'm going to go to length. Track 7. I'm going to tell it to play 16 as well, because, you know, and then we say enter, and then we go in, and then it starts. Now, a cool feature of the new update is when you go in here, you put it in record, and when you press erase, it's going to erase all the stuff that you just want to erase. So this last part like so. Cool. So now I've erased the last part of my sequence, and now I can just go in and, you know, practice it first. Cool, I got it now. Now I want to play. Cool. Now I could have just winged it. I just like went offline, edited it, and just made sure that you think I can play whatever. That's just not the way I want to just do things. This is how I'm setting stuff up. Right now I'm going to turn it down a little bit. And I hear that it's not quantized. This track is not quantized. So I'm going to go in, say quantize off. That's what I hear. Bam. Yeah, nice. Now the cool part is what I've also done is I made sure that I spaced out room for my creativity also to flow. Now this is a very important part because when I talk about learn to play live, a lot of people actually ask me, okay, Lucien, what is live exactly? Is it the laptop and Ableton and the controller, or is it the starting from scratch like what Circo does, or is it the hybrid? There's so many different ways of approaching a live set. The way I do it is, okay, I love to have my crowd understand music that I release, that when they see a show, that there's actually something that is also happening during that show. So, you know, you go to a Rolling Stones concert or whatever, you'd like to hear records that you already know from them, rather than they just improvising and doing this, some weird rendition of a record you really came to the show to see. So I love for that to happen, which means that on my 008 here, tracks 1, 3, 5, and 7, out of the 8 tracks, every other track, say, if one is the bass line, I'll copy that track here. This is the same, this is the mutes for this. I'll copy that over to 2. And then on 1 I can play a bass line, say, if I got track 1. My bass. But track 2, that I've got engaged, also got the bass. 3, J6, 4, J6, 5, OB6, track 6, OB6, 7, Midi Log XD, 8, Midi Log XD. Because you want to play something, but once you got your bearings and you played it and it works, you feel confident, you want to do it again. So chances are the next stuff you're going to play is going to even be better than the first stuff you played, right? So you want an extra track to do that on. Like for instance, say track 8 here, let's go to track 8, which is going to be my Midi Log XD. And now I'm going to play that track, but I'm going to play and lay something over the top that's really going to gel the track together. Listen to this. So this is how I think it works with my synthesizers. I love to just throw up these different boxes every week so I can do a different setup, which is really, really cool. I really enjoy it, and I hope that you did as well. Learn to play .live. We still got some spots filling, so if you want to join up, this might be the time. For ADE, we're actually doing a really, really nice workshop thingy, jam thingy, and performance thingy. It's going to be crazy at Club Akhenaton. We're going to do the Wednesday because last year's we did the Sunday, and not a lot of people show up on Sunday. Well, they do for the party, but you know, if you know ADE and you know ADE, 5 days, 6 days of partying, it's best to do our party, our shindig on the first ever day that the ADE is going to take place. So come to the Vibe in Amsterdam, near Central Station. It's not that far away actually. So Akhenaton's really, really cool. Circo's gonna be there. Median's gonna be there. Tomo's going to be there. Federico De Lilies is going to be there for Morph. I think during the day we've got like the lineup is just extensive. There's just gonna be a lot of people there. Check it out. Come there, you know, it's really going to be a cool thing. And you learn to play live. Students are, of course, welcome, free of charge, no admission, of course. And you'll meet your teachers, because your teachers are also going to be there. It's going to be interesting. I think Honeysmack is also going to be bringing Honeysmack as well. So it looks interesting. Hey, if you made it this far into the video, you sir remember an absolute superstar. I'm racing because my battery's running out, so I need to finish. Okay, thank you for watching. Keep watching this space. Next week I'm going to be back with another video. My name is Italo Kitchen, and thank you for watching. This concludes our broadcast day. Leave a comment in the section below, and if not anything else, I'll catch you in the video after the party in a second. You ready?